Good evening and welcome. Tonight we will be going over the history and geography of Chinandega in Nicaragua. As you can see, we're on the western part of the country tonight. Along the Pacific coast, you can see the Gulf of Fonseca up here. There's this cool peninsula jutting out into it, bordering the ocean, where we can find the volcano, which is very hard to pronounce. Cosigüina, I think it is. Right there, making up this huge part right there. There are lots of volcanoes in this area. You can see the mountains coming through here and a bit up here as well. This middle area, though, is much lower where lots of the farmland is, but up here it is a very marshy area. The rivers are flowing out to the sea here. But back to the volcanoes, you can see right here is Volcán San Cristobal. That is actually the highest volcano in Nicaragua. Not the highest mountain, but the highest volcano. And it's a cool one. Chinandega is nicknamed the City of Oranges, because like I said, there's a lot of agriculture here. And I assume that's what it's best known for. They're delicious oranges. I love oranges. But in terms of history, there were, of course, many indigenous people living in this area. The ones that were around when the Spanish arrived in 1524 were the Chorotegas and, of course, the Nahua, which the Spanish would eventually, of course, subdue. The city of Chinandega would be founded in 1796. And it has been, not the smoothest sailing in this city and throughout Nicaragua in general. There was a small revolution in Chinandega in 1927, where the main center of the town was destroyed and obviously rebuilt. And during the Sandinista era in Nicaragua, there was fighting in this town between 1978 and 1979. But it wasn't all just political turmoil. There's also some natural disasters here. In particular, in 1998, Hurricane Mitch hit this area. The volcano friend right next to San Cristobal is called La Casita volcano, I believe. There was a big landslide from that hurricane who wiped out many homes and many people lost their lives during that. But other than that, this is just a nice quiet corner of Nicaragua. Lots of farmland, wonderful beaches, and big volcanoes to explore. And that's pretty much all I've got for you, unfortunately. But there is a lot more to see on Google Earth. So why don't I dim the lights and grab my tablet, and we will check out Chinandega on Google Earth. Let's go. Here we are in Chinandega Department. And let's start by zooming out so you can see exactly where we are in the world. Here is Nicaragua within Central America. Nicaragua is pretty easy to spot because of big old Lake Nicaragua right here. It's definitely the largest lake in Central America. You can see it from way far out. It's a big old lake there. But Nicaragua, as you can see, has an Atlantic coast and a Pacific coast, which is where we are tonight. Why don't we start in the town of Chinandega? Take a look around. You can see that it was definitely founded by the Spanish pre-independence because it is one big grid. There's the Central Park and the main church, which makes my job whenever I'm in a place in Latin America easy, because when I go to a new town, it's like, okay, find the biggest park, the biggest church is right next to it, and that's where I usually start my exploration. Here in the center, which has a nice big park in it, And of course this beautiful, very yellow, very goldenrod church. I remember that museum wasn't great. What's this museum? Nice. This is what I'm looking for. Some indigenous art. Little bowls here. Lots of cool clay pots and figurines of all kinds. All shapes and sizes, huh? Oh, looks like an ocarina. It might even be. Some dances held there. Map of Nicaragua. Really cool old art there. I like those. Beautiful plates. Super cool pot with like a man coming out of it. It's a little creepy. Little friends there. Looks like they're made out of bone. All kinds of neat. Look at this. What would you put in there? I wonder if that's a little, like you could have a fire or a candle in there or something. Or maybe just hold a sacred object. Looks like a beauty contest there. Very cool. Masks, jewelry made out of teeth. Okay. And jade artifacts too. Look at this jade knife. Wow. Very cool. But really, like, the star of the show in this department, I think, is its natural wonders. Over here is San Cristobal. Oh, that's a finca. I want the actual mountain. Look at this guy. Classic volcano, right? Check it out. Smoky guy up there, Christopher. Beautiful farmland around it. Nice big hike up here too, and great views. Look at all the sunshine pouring down through the clouds. How pretty is that? Big classic volcano, huh? I like the big classic volcanoes. And like I've said recently, we've looked at a lot of volcanoes lately. The volcanoes almost always have a friend, right? And that one is over here. The volcano I mentioned before, that Casita volcano. Sorry for the loud car outside if you could hear that. Volcan Casita, little house volcano. Looks like they've got some kind of weather station or something up there. Lots of farmland down here. Looks like tea or something. I don't know. Something leafy. Look at that view of all the clouds. With all the trees in the forefront. Very Bob Ross, isn't it? Just put a little friend right there. Wow. Glowing green. Smoking. Almost always, big volcanoes almost always have a little friend right next door. But if we look at our other big volcano friend over here on the peninsula, this one's really interesting because its crater has a big lagoon inside of it. Cosigüina. I don't know why I can't say that. Cosigüina. Cosigüina? I'm not sure. Oh, I love these kinds of trees with the big crawler, snaky vine trees. Yeah, it has a beautiful lake inside of it. More farmland there. Big trail there. Oh, they picked a flower there. Take a photo of it by the lake. Looks like hikers that way. And look at this farmland. Oh, I know what to show you next. Before we hit the coast. To look at this farmland over here, down here, in the swampy areas. Look how beautiful this land is from above. You can see all the swampy water and the land around it. And then all of the fish farms and shrimp farms, aquaculture that are around it. Making these amazing shapes in the earth. Isn't that something? Almost looks like a plant cell. Isn't it pretty? I think it's gorgeous. Oh, we almost wound up in Honduras. Oh, that's right. There's no pictures there. I did find some, I think, over here. Maybe I was looking at Honduras. Did I mention that this area borders Honduras? I meant to. Goodness. This department borders Honduras to its north. My bad. maybe it was this one I was looking at. I think so. Yeah. This big wetland over here. Very mangrovey and such. You can see some of the beach here too. There's the lagoon. Splashing in the ocean. That's what I like to do when I'm at the beach. I am in the water swimming. I love it. There's a playa up here. Playa Mechapa. Yeah, that's a good beach. That's a great beach. You got the best kind of sand there. You can bring your boats right up to the water here. And then there's some cool rocks where you can go climbing. You can find shells in the sand. Yeah, oh, sorry for my tummy. I like this kind of sand because you can really dig in it and find some cool stuff. And then when it gets all wet at low tide, you can make good sand castles with it. That's a good beach. Then let me see on this playa up here as well. You can see there's lots of various nice beachy areas here. There goes the loud car again. I think it's a motorcycle coming by. Oh no, a sea cave. Watch out for the sea witches in there. But yeah, it's a really gorgeous little corner of Nicaragua. Nicaragua is very beautiful. Yeah, more of the same. Look at this. Gorgeous. Big sea cliffs here. The crashing water along the beach. I can almost hear it. Gosh, I miss the ocean. But yeah, there's lots to explore here, and I'm sure the food is amazing and fresh as well with all of this farmland around. Can you see all of it? All the little patchwork farmland here. You know, that volcanic soil must be really, really nice. Really fertile. What's that? As always, I highly encourage you to check out these areas for yourself to see what you can find. Hopefully you'll be able to find more than just non-slideshows. Why don't we end it here? Make sure this isn't the one we already looked at. Definitely not. This one's really cool. Let's end it here. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this style of content, please consider subscribing, especially if you liked this video, because we're going to just hop over to Nicaragua. Not Nicaragua, we're in Nicaragua. We're going to hop over to Guatemala, where we're going to see a very similar landscape. Lots of volcanoes, lots of jungle and such. And some neat stuff over there. So if you liked this video, definitely make sure you are subscribed, because you're going to want to watch tomorrow's video too. Also, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments. I hope that you found this video to be relaxing and educational. And I hope that you have a good night. Good night.